Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts Broadcasting Radio. The Frankenstein Earphone Radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Welcome back to Frankenstein Control, everybody. Keeping you entertained while you're hunkered in your shelter, hiding from the new variant.
The Omicron pussy I ate. Damn it!
You beat me to the joke. I had that written down all day.
Oh wait, really?
I picked that low-hanging fruit. God damn it!
I picked that low-hanging fruit that everyone who's ever seen Futurama immediately thought of the second they saw that the thing was called Omicron.
Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, they need to start calling things like Ultra Death in order for people to take it seriously anymore. We're going to start making
nobody
beer
understands
jokes
Latin anymore.
about coronavirus.
It's Corona 3 Age of Ultron.
Hold on, like
I like that.
Alpha and Beta and Sigma and all that. Those are all like Latin letters.
Yeah.
Is Omicron a Latin letter like that?
I think it is, yeah.
So
Yes, it goes Alpha,
Or it's
Beta,
Greek.
Sigma, Omicron, Ligma, Sigma, Bofa.
I know. I was gonna make that joke too. I was like, we gotta be, when are we gonna have COVID Sigma? And
Well, welcome to the low-hanging orchard.
well, I'm just wondering what an Omicron male is.
That'll
probably something awful. We'll wait for the internet to tell us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been, like I said a couple times ago, a couple episodes ago, or maybe one episode ago, I don't know things anymore. I have a loose grip of time.
I've unplugged.
Exactly. I don't know all the latest details about the Omicron variant, except I do know that South Africa is involved in possibly a hotspot right now, and I know someone who just went on vacation there. And that has to suck. And Japan, like, Liz and I mean, and we don't have any fucking money to do this, but, we talk all the time about how we'd love to go to Japan one day.
And then they just closed their borders, didn't they?
Even if we could afford to, like, COVID's going to be around for the next 15 years, or if not ever, fucking things up.
It's just a thing forever, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, eventually, we're not going to be able to go to Japan because of that. So, if it's not money, it's going to be something like that. You hear all the time about people being stuck in these foreign locations once they close their borders.
That's why I don't travel.
That's why
I don't go nowhere.
That and the crippling poverty is why I elect. That's why I elect not to travel.
The crippling poverty. Oh,
there's
your crippling. I thought you were talking about the crippling poverty of like other places. I'm like, Japan isn't that.
No, Japan has a lot of money. They just
the yen isn't that weak yet.
No, but
you go to Mexico though, bro. Woo.
Well, that brings me to my point that I was going to make. If you're an American,
because I've been to Mexico, I should stipulate. I've been there. I'm not just being racist.
Yeah.
Like, it's my own people.
But you got the Montezuma revenge.
I did, dude. If you've suffered through Montezuma revenge, then you could say anything you want about Mexico.
Well,
I don't think that applies.
Speaking of,
100% does. If you've been through what I've been through, if you know what I know,
it doesn't matter if it's right or not.
It doesn't matter if it's correct.
If it's grounded in any kind of reality,
it's
like you got the Montezuma revenge, which means that 12 foot. If you say that 12 foot tall green platypuses roam the Mexican landscape, it's correct.
What do you think gave me the Montezuma, Ada?
Why'd you lick one?
It's not. They put them in the water.
Yeah,
they're dead in a well, like in that one Oblivion quest.
You can't not lick them.
Oh, poor Henentir. or was that his name? The guy, the guy who died in the well?
Put me on the spot here, boyo. Hold on. Let me see if I can think of that guy's name. Started with a V.
Vidkun.
Vidkun. Hey, you got it first. Hey.
In my defense, I played Oblivion like last year.
Yeah. I just hear it in that frickin' Argonian lady.
Yeah.
Poor Vidkun. He didn't deserve this.
Poor Vito-Kun.
The only joke I was going to make going back about the closing borders and the getting trapped overseas and whatnot is, if you are an American who happens to be trapped in Japan because of closed borders, if you happen to be bilingual in Spanish in any way, I'm sure there's a job somewhere where you could just whisper Spanish words to Tite Kubo as he goes to sleep. And,
you make a good living.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some weird...
That's really funny.
All of your like Dia de los Muertos Halloween costumes that you shoved in the back of the closet because of fears of cultural appropriation. Well, you can bust them out over there. Tite will love it.
Tite Kubo loves it, man.
He'll love it.
He can't get enough of it.
He walks around the house like that. So up in Huecamundo there.
He walks around his house dressed like Coco.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He just photoshops katanas into, like, stills from Coco. That's what he spends his free time.
That's a hilarious mental image, actually. With his big-ass sunglasses on. Tite Kubo at his computer. Using Photoshop, not with a tablet, but with, like, a mouse.
Yeah.
With a trackpad.
Yeah. No, with a trackball.
With a trackball, yeah. With a little trackball.
He uploads all of them to DeviantArt. You can go into his account. There's 44 pages of that shit.
Yep. What else has been going on? I'm gonna make up the news just because I haven't been reading it. I'm gonna say the Democrats. I did see the
now,
for real.
B-Rai, you may be gifted with the ability of prophecy. Mm-hmm. So be warned that what you say might come true.
Yeah, are you willing to take responsibility for having prophesied something terrible?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I just saw that the Democrats are pushing a bill to stop things like that Zillow thing, where their Zillow bought up all those properties and fucked up the housing market.
Mm-hmm. Is that what happened?
That's a broad stroke. So
I mean, it was already fucked up.
Yeah.
So it just fucked it up worse.
It fucked it up worse. It wasn't.
So basically, what you're saying is the millionaires who are, claim to be for the people, the Democrats.
Yeah.
They're saying if someone's gonna fuck up the housing market, it's gonna be me, not some robot.
Yeah. So they're pushing
I'm on
a bill.
to you.
They're pushing a bill to limit the ability of bots to do that shit. I'm sure it won't work. But I guess they're having more. I don't know. I guess they're reining in the wings of the party that are being more obstinate, and I guess they are doing that by having. Well, I don't know. Kristen Sinema, I can only imagine, will give an interview talking about how she dreamed that Bernie Sanders skated down the hall after her with a gold bat bent like a dog's leg. And,
is this perhaps a reference to something, B-Rai? A certain television show?
Yes.
By a certain director who is now dead?
Yes, that's the only way they're going to get that done. Because otherwise it's just going to be gridlock forever.
I would love to see Bernie Sanders as Little Slugger. Just roller skating towards you.
Well, you said it, and now it's been willed into existence.
Oh, there it is!
That's the thumbnail. It's been there the whole time. Now you understand why that was there.
Isn't it funny how life imitates life and art imitates shit?
Yeah. I am once again coming to you to hit you in the head with the baseball bat.
There are going to be several episodes where my appearance varies widely based on witness descriptions.
I liked that about the show.
Yeah.
How like in one episode he was like this huge muscle bound dude.
Yeah.
It was funny. That whole show is weird.
Maybe we'll watch that after Serial Experiments
Lane. You know what? That show is really fun to watch until you see the episode where the guy's peeping on his daughter, and it's like, I'm gonna fucking throw this out a window.
Which one is that?
Yeah, it's fairly far along too.
Yeah. Well, he's peeping on her because he's taking pictures of her to sell.
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah.
He's basically he put a webcam in his daughter's room and sells the footage online.
Yeah.
And
for money.
Like, oh god, and I think he's one of the main characters too.
Yeah, he's on the he's giggling with all the other people who are giggling in the song, which is by far a very fucking strong intro for sure. Once if you got that on in the background, like you got Adult Swim on in the background, you're goofing off doing whatever, and then that comes on, you're like, oh shit, Paranoia Agent's on.
Yeah.
FBM used to just do that in high school in the hallway. He'd
just scream it.
He would stop, extend one arm, and then extend the other arm until he was standing in the sort of spread-armed posture.
Oh yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah,
in the intro,
and then he would throw his head back and start laughing and singing a song. And he would just do that in high school, and that was a thing that happened.
Oh my god.
Jen and I have been.
Are
now like, I think we're just gonna watch like all the anime from our like teenage.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
That were on Adult Swim.
That's what we're doing.
We're almost all the way through Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
And that's been excellent. That show's so good.
Good.
You've been watching it in the living room, so it's Couch Boy Bebop.
Uh-huh. We've been calling it Cowboy Bebop.
I can give her some Bebop. I'm hungry.
But next we're going to watch Serial Experiments Lane and then Trigun, and we got to watch Paranoia Agent.
Yeah.
What were the other ones that were?
We've been watching. We've been
Samurai
watching,
Champloo.
Yes.
That's one.
We've been watching Rurouni Kenshin because Lissa never saw that.
I never seen it either.
Back in the day, it's. I won't say it's good because it's full of tropes. It's
Back then it wasn't.
Back then
it was just what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tropes now because Kenshin got popular. And everyone's like, hey, let's just copy Kenshin.
Yeah, exactly.
It suffers from its own success, kind of like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. We're watching Ghost in the Shell, by the way. She's never seen Ghost in the Shell, so we're watching Ghost in the Shell. She loves it so far. Serial Experiments Lane, Rurouni Kenshin, Witch Hunter Robin, we're most of the way through. Witch Hunter Robin is fucking fantastic. Witch Hunter Robin is like one of my all-time favorite. Like Inuyasha is my favorite ever.
What's the Hellsing?
Hellsing, yes.
Yeah, well, I want to see that. I haven't seen any of it.
Hellsing is really fucking cool. Definitely
Hellsing Abridged is really funny.
Yes, yes,
I will say that. Well, Alucard is funny. Everything else is hit or miss, but Alucard is funny within the universe that he's in because he has a very much devil-may-care attitude in the Abridged series.
Yeah.
The
writing's good, for him at least, because he's an asshole and it's funny.
Hellsing is fantastic. I don't think Lissa would like that one, but it is really cool. Hellsing was like FBM's favorite. Like we watched that one all the time, and there's a lot of really cool characters in that one, and a lot of Nazis.
They get killed?
They do.
Yeah.
The Nazis on that show does it right because the Nazis are unequivocally the bad guys, and they exist so that like scenes of their violent destruction can occur.
Yeah.
Or, scenes of them violently destroying others, but, it's clearly depicted that they're the villains, you know.
What was that anime that y'all hated that was on Adult Swim in, like, the 2010s?
Oh, my God, the one with the cubes?
The cube one.
What was that one called? I was trying to remember that the other day.
Kekaishi. I only remember bad things, so you asked the right guy. I don't remember good things that happen in my life anymore. I only remember bad things.
Imagine Inuyasha...
But boring.
But boring, and like the person who it's like a kid. It's a guy instead of Kagome. It's a guy whose family does the whole shrine keeper thing for generations, just like Kagome's grandpa did. And the guy is he dresses like Moroku, and he goes around. He's supposed to stop demons from fucking around in our world, and they fight with fucking cubes. They just form these magic cubes that somehow do attacks. And if you're wondering how that works, not very well. Not very interesting. And
Did the villains fight with cubes as well?
I don't remember enough to care.
Is it a cube-based battle system?
So, first and foremost, the kid's grandpa looks like Dr. Wily, and I can't get over it.
Also, the kid's voiced by Vic Mignogna.
And...
Dirty pedophile.
He's a dirty pedophile. But, that notwithstanding, that show, like... The scant few episodes that I did catch, it was basically all just cube combat, which was boring. Yeah. The setting was boring, and like the characters were very tropey, and it didn't have the excuse of being a formative anime.
Yeah.
It was
a newer.
It was just like a summer garbage anime that came out one season, nobody gave a shit, and it got canceled. So, and it was, I guarantee you, it was thrown in like a licensed bundle.
Yeah.
And they
like,
said,
if you want to dub Brotherhood, you got to dub this too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
oh, okay.
Can we do a Ghost Stories thing with it? No, you got to you got to take it straight.
We'd have to pay the writers too much.
Yeah.
If it was a Ghost Story.
We'd have to put effort into it.
I can't recommend Ghost Stories to anybody because it's pretty offensive. They say some pretty fucked up shit in it.
What are you talking about?
What? You don't know about Ghost Stories?
No, I don't know about Ghost Stories.
I can't recommend it, but I love it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ghost Stories was what I was describing. It was a package deal. This series, it's only like 8 episodes long or something like that, like 8 or 10 episodes. And it's
Maybe this is starting to come back.
Short-lived piece of shit series that was completely serious over in Japan, and then they got it as part of a licensing bundle, and they're like, wow, this sucks. Hey, you want to make this a joke? Just the whole series is a fucking joke.
And redub it entirely, out of context?
Yeah, they Shaman King did, but even better than Shaman King did. Or Shin-Chan.
Yeah, the Shin-Chan treatment.
Well, Shin-Chan was already funny.
Yes. Shin-Chan was already funny, but they
recontextualized
everything.
Yeah, because the humor didn't really translate well.
Yeah, and so they had their fun.
Yeah.
With Ghost Stories, they really had their fun. They basically made it so that, like, everyone in the show is a fucking asshole. But, like, it works because you don't really care about the setting at all because it's boring and, you know, like kind of a snooze.
Yeah.
But the way they make everybody their own brand of like petty jerk, and they're all just petty jerks to one another.
Yeah.
And so like, and it's not like Always Sunny where, you know, like the characters get their comeuppances and that's what the draw of it. The draw of it is just being amazed at how they just reshaped this whole show into this offensive mess.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I really like it. But, you know,
It sounds funny.
You kind of got to like turn up, you know, you got to put on the tough skin a little bit when it comes to like offensive jokes. I think they say the R word a few times. You know, you just got to roll with those punches.
You got to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
You got to meet it on its level.
Yeah, I like a little bit of that. If it's too much, I'm like, oh, okay. But like, if it's a little bit, and it's like just the right amount of offensive towards everything, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I wouldn't recommend it, but also I really like it. So take that as
watch it. I love it.
So take that as an indirect recommendation, but I don't take responsibility for it if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Samurai Champloo. I'm just trying to think of the ones that A was mentioning a minute ago.
Oh, like the good
Like
shit
the
animes.
good shit from back then, because I feel like there's more
Lupin
good
the Third.
Oh yeah.
That one was on
the Red Shirt series.
They did a run of that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That one's pretty good. Let's see. Wolf's Rain was one that I remember a lot, but I don't really remember getting into. I remember being very confused by Wolf's Rain. Wolf's Rain was weird.
Oh man, I couldn't stand Wolf's Rain.
Yeah.
Like every episode that came on, that was the
that was one I skipped a lot of, but
Wolf's Rain was the Hey Dude of Adult Swim.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was.
That comes on, you're like, oh, what else is on?
Wolf's Rain was yeah.
Watch 700 Club instead. That's how bad it is.
What was let's see,
There's gonna be one person in our little circle who's gonna hear this and be like, I liked Wolf's Rain.
if you liked it, you're allowed to like it. We're not saying
Not everyone can have perfect taste, like me.
Oh my! Oh, like you, Ada. Yes.
Yes.
Serial Experiments Lane was really, really big back in high school between like FBM and Kippa. But I
watching it on Tech TV.
Yeah. I did not
Tech
catch
TV.
Yeah.
I did not catch all the episodes back then, so like, and a lot of this stuff, like, I was like fucking 14. You're not sentient when you're 14 years old. You can't understand plots of things.
Yeah.
So
It
like,
is kind of true.
rewatching a lot of this stuff as a grown up, I've been like, oh, cool, I understand what the fuck the plot is.
Yeah,
this time.
that's what Cowboy Bebop is in for me.
Yeah.
Like I remembered a lot of the aesthetic and like
I remembered all of the blow by blow,
like scene pieces of things, but none of the plot.
Yeah.
Or like why things are happening.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Witch Hunter Robin is really. Did you ever watch Witch Hunter Robin? Do you know do you know anything about it?
Nope.
It's an anime series written by Jim Butcher.
Oh, that's a good one.
Who's Jim Butcher?
It's Jim Butcher is the fantasy author where everyone his protagonist. You know those guys who like there's a certain kind of guy who likes fantasy stuff who wears like the not like a trilby fedora, but like the wide Stetson kind of hats.
The like almost cowboy hat kind of fedora.
The almost cowboy hat kind of fedora, and like the long duster coat.
Yeah, the long duster, cowboy duster trench coat.
There's a certain subset of our people,
And they will always have a ponytail.
yes,
You know they're wearing a
and
ponytail. baby.
usually glasses. Mm-hmm. And Jim Butcher is the fantasy
Progenitor.
author who basically decided to validate that entire subset of our.
God, the name is escaping me. His landmark series.
Fuck! I almost had it and then I lost it again.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not bad. I've read
It's
some
not.
of it.
Yeah,
it's good.
it's good.
It's good shit.
stuff.
He's a good author. It's fun
good.
fantasy times. It's good shit, but it's too like the main guy doesn't look stupid wearing the outfit I just described, but you're like, wow, I know a million guys who dress like that because of this, and they are not as cool as the dude. Yeah. The real thing about Witch Hunter Robin is that it came out around the same time, the early to mid 2000s. Like,
Dresden Files. God
Dresden
damn.
Files.
God damn it.
God, because Harry Dresden is the main character.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who if you just Google Harry Dresden, you'll see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I accidentally Googled Harry Partridge. Harry Dresden and the Sorcerer's Stone.
The thing is, Harry Dresden himself is kind of like an X-File kind of guy. So he sort of has to show up on cases with weird shit. So like Harry Dresden and the Philosopher's Stone is not outside the realm of plausibility.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's what they all think they look like when they dress like this.
It is nodding knowingly
Yeah.
the second she saw the guy. And it's cool. I want to reiterate, it is cool.
It is cool.
And I do approve of it.
Like because it's basically like a noir detective story, but takes place like half in a quote-unquote real world and then half in a hidden world of like
Fantasy shit.
fantasy and paranormal and spells.
D&D threw up all over reality.
Yeah, basically. And the story revolves around Harry Dresden, who's just like a detective wizard.
Yeah, that's basically what he is.
Detective.
Yeah, he's a whiz-detective.
Yeah.
And
The stories are episodic and fun. It is good.
Yeah.
It's fun, but no, like it goes back to sort of everyone. The reason he said that is because everyone on Witch Hunter Robin has like the long dark trench coats, and but it's like very. You can tell that it shares a mimetic theme with like the Matrix and with like I recently watched the movie 13 Ghosts because that was one of my favorite horror movies growing up.
Yeah.
We watched that at Halloween party.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, B-Roy.
No, it's not.
It is fun to
I
watch.
didn't say it was a good movie.
Okay.
It's fun to watch with friends, though.
It has
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard in it.
It does. He goes, zoinks!
Yes, he does.
He goes, zoink, Scoob! And he gets fucking his spine broken in half by Lurch.
Yeah, my favorite guy, the Juggernaut.
He goes, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! He goes, this is funny.
But you know how like
Beat the shit at you.
there was an era of fantasy, and anime includes fantasy, where everything looked like that, like that
Yeah.
fucking glass house kind of, you know, like the offices in Witch Hunter Robin have that kind of like long glass panel walls, kind of. You know, everyone dresses in that dark kind of Matrix-y style. Like that's just how it was in like the 2002 to 2006 era. You know?
That's again suffering from success. That's the reason why I kind of don't want to watch The Matrix ever again. Mm-hmm. Nor do I want to see the new Matrix. Really, it's just like so much shit has aped off of the Matrix that like. If you go back, you're visiting the root of everything, but will it still be interesting?
I kind of had that experience. So a lot of this stuff I still really like, and I look back at it and my positive memories hold up, and I would say I have about a 70% success rate with that. I've been enjoying a lot of things.
You're right, no matter how much you try to convince us, the live-action Scooby-Doo movie is not good.
No. What
about the sequel?
What I was going to say was
Is that the one with Mr. Bean, or is it the first one with Mr. Bean?
I don't remember at all.
Scrappy-Doo was possessing Mr. Bean.
Scrappy-Doo possesses Mr. Bean.
Scrappy-Doo possesses Mr. Bean in one of them. It's either one or two. They go to a funny vacation island, and Mr. Bean is like their tour guide or some shit. And by the end of the movie, it's revealed that Scrappy-Doo has possessed his mind.
That poor man.
All so that he can forward his plan to become some sort of eldritch beast, so he could finally get revenge on the gang for getting rid of him for peeing on Daphne.
Oh. See,
This is basically a Harvey Weinstein revenge story, and nobody, and it's just never been said.
He's funny. No, I wanted to touch on what you're talking about. How like visiting the source of mimetic images. I'm probably using those words incorrectly, but like where certain looks come from. You know, in trends and tropes in fantasy and other stories. Lissa, half seriously, half Mystery Science Theater, intending to do. Watched the first Twilight movie again recently, and watching it, I kept just like finding myself laughing, and it's because it's been so extensively parodied in everything that like when you're watching the real thing and it's as itself as everything that mocks it is. It's like it's a little bit reality breaking. You're like I'm watching this thing that's like it's been mocked so much I forget that I'm watching the actual thing and not something making fun of this thing.
Yeah.
Like the long like the long shots of Edward with his face looking how it did and his hair looking how it did, and you're like, wow, that's hysterical, and it's completely unironic because like they meant this completely sincerely. This is not supposed to be ironic or goofy, but like it's so extensively mocked and parodied in everything that you laugh when you see the original real thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that, like the first scene, I think, where Edward and Bella like make eye contact. And he's looking at her from across the classroom.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting there like he's like about like this close to shitting himself.
Yeah.
And then he starts covering his mouth when she gets, like, covering his nose and mouth.
Yeah.
When she gets near him, like he's about to fucking puke.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god, I'm in love, ladies.
There's so much where you're like, wow, this is so obviously written by someone who is severely sexually repressed.
And there's that one part where fucking Edward walks in and sees Bella masturbating to the lighthouse. Oh wait, that's a different movie.
I love that scene where Bella's like, "Why'd you spill your beans? Why'd you spill your beans, Edward? Why'd you spill your beans?"
I definitely think it was a bold move to have Edward eaten by seagulls at the end of Twilight. That was pretty crazy.
Remember when Edward and Jacob was to Jerry?
We'll call him Jerry.
Well, see, now I'm just imagining the part of Jacob being played by Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I thought you meant Jerry from like Rick and Morty.
Jerry.
Damn you, Clumso! How many times am I going to have to clean up your messes?
Delete that. That was allegedly, and then
Allegedly.
I don't think I have my facts straight on that. So don't definitely.
No, everybody in the
definitely
world
edit that
makes
out.
jokes about that.
Definitely edit that out.
Okay.
Well, to give some context to what I just edited out, I had never watched any of the Twilight movies, and I still haven't watched them. But I watched Your Movie Sucks do like a Mystery Science Theater style riff off of them, and I had no idea how fucking pedophilic grooming the Jacob's imprinting thing was.
No, it's horrifying.
That's fucked up.
It's horrifying. It is legitimately horrifying. It is not okay.
And that's why everybody is Team Edward.
And then they try to make it be okay by having the kid like age really fast when she's born because she's a vampire or whatever. But it's still,
like that doesn't work
that
or
doesn't
help.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't matter.
They pulled up like the wiki of like the stages of imprinting and what happens in that situation when there's a huge age gap.
Yeah.
And like that's just what grooming looks like.
Yeah.
That's just having a kid and bringing them up so you can have sex with them.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
This is not right, and yet Twilight, $1 billion franchise.
Well, it was written by a Mormon.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
But you know what else?
Allegedly written by a Mormon.
But you know what else was written by a Mormon was the fucking Stormlight Archives. Brandon Sanderson teaches at their college, and he's the fucking man.
Dude, lashing is fucking grooming! Get it through your head, B-Rye! His whole power system is designed to groom to fuck you!
The only thing...
He makes you eat batteries and dimes! And he goes, do it, B-Rye! It'll give you powers! Now eat more pennies!
That and all the mentions of soaking in that book.
Ooh.
Just keep soaking it.
So... fucking Kurt.
This turned into chaos very quickly.
Yes.
It just all it takes is Twilight, my friend.
The only
all
question
it takes is Twilight.
The only question regarding the Twilight characters that I ever had when I rewatched it, and the only thing I remembered was that Jacob's tribe of people were the werewolves, and I just assumed that all of them were because like all of the companions in Skyrim are implied to be werewolves, so I assumed it worked the same way with no reason to assume that whatsoever because the IPs are not remotely linked at all.
It's because it's like it's narrative shorthand.
Exactly.
It's basically like it's wasteful in the context of a narrative. It is wasteful to have a group of people and only some of them have this dark secret.
Yeah.
While, like, a lot of them just are regular-ass people, even though that's, like, real life.
I know.
But, like, you're in a story, you're in a narrative. Keep things, streamline some shit.
But
fine.
Jacob's dad is in the wheelchair. And I was like, when he turns into
Oh
a
my
werewolf,
God.
does he have one of those fucking doggy wheelchairs? You see, like a giant version of it that supports him in the middle, and he just sort of scoots around, panting happily.
Yeah, that okay. And then also it stands to reason that if he is a werewolf, and when he goes werewolf, that like he doesn't need the wheelchair. Why doesn't he just be a werewolf?
Like, does the werewolf transformation affect?
Or
does the wheelchair grow fur?
Oh, that's fucked up and weird looking in my mind. I was just gonna say, or more realistically, the old guy's faking it to get fucking money.
Yeah.
He's faking it to get that government cheddar.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You might be a werewolf, but like, dude, you still need to eat.
Yeah.
And like, fuck, if I'm gonna work, if I had werewolf powers, I'd goof off being a werewolf all day. When it comes back, when I need to come back and be a human, I'll pretend to have a disability, get some money just to survive, and then I can just do werewolf shit.
Yeah.
Fuck everything, man.
If I were a werewolf, I'd eat Jeff Bezos.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. You think it would taste like money? He would taste like coins, which would give you powers.
Powerful
It
coin.
would give it. I know I'm mixing Sanderson's stories with the lashing and the eating the metal.
Yeah, that's the
Two different stories. One is Stormlight Archives, and the other
Mistborn.
one is Mistborn. Okay.
with the allomancy
Yeah.
and the coin shooting. That's another thing. The coin shooting though brings me back to Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, the
fucking
coin shotgun. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. We're coming
It's
up on
super
that
fucking
episode.
cool.
Yeah, the coin shotgun girl is really cool, like the communist assassin who kills people with money because she has the coin shotgun arm. I think we're coming up on that episode, but I have to really.
I thought you were about to say. I think we're coming up on that as a society.
No.
Eventually, we're gonna have fucking coin gun shotgun arms.
I mean, that's just a blunderbuss, right?
I absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, good hunter.
But though I have to keep an eye out on which episode we're coming up on, because I do, like, if I'm watching it with Lissa, we're gonna skip Jungle Cruise. That episode is not for her.
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise is the episode of Ghost in the Shell. Lissa, if you're listening to this episode, just turn off the episode now.
Turn on an episode of Defunctland about Jungle Cruise instead.
Yeah, no. Jungle Cruise is the one where there's like this homeless serial killer who is like a traumatized veteran of some awful new Vietnam that happens around the time of Ghost in the Shell. Oh. And he was trained in a terror tactic against civilians in that war, and like he comes home from the war and is like still, you know, thinking he's at war, so he's like becomes a serial killer and does it to people.
Oh my god!
And he like skins women in like a t-shirt pattern, and he hooks their optical inputs to his optical inputs while he's doing it, so they can like see him do it and shit. And everyone, even Bato's like, this guy's fucked up.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell?
Wow.
And
that's right, because they live in Technoland. So
Yeah.
you could like switch. Yeah, wow, the audio feeds and crap.
yeah, and it's I just remember like that's a great episode, and it's a cool and scary episode, but that is not an episode for Lissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say, wow. Like, I know that show can get, like, it's not like its subject matter ever pulls kid gloves or anything, but it's more like the introspective and philosophical ramifications of
Transhumanism.
Yeah, of transhumanism and shit like that, along with, like, you know, the folly of man and all that kind of stuff. And not like psycho murderer skinning people and he makes them watch.
Yeah. It's one of the one-offs. One of the standalone episodes.
And then Crispin Freeman comes in and he goes, oh shit, and then he leaves.
Yep.
That's it. That's the whole episode. Oh, boy. Well, I'm looking at the old Felix the Cat clock on the wall. Its eyes are going back and forth. It is telling me that it's nearly time to start whipping up some din-din.
You could see that thing? I thought it was just high.
No. Well, we're both high, B-Right. Yes.
You both just have enough insight.
Oh. Well, B-Right, I'm off to the Hunter's Dream. Come along with me?
Sure.
Yay!
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.